And welcome once again. Yes, this is Cameron Daniels coming to you with the Bolton blog for this week. Now, I've not done one for a few weeks, mainly because one, I was ill, and two, there was not really a lot going on. However, since I've been away, things have changed. They really have. So how have they changed? Well, first of all, we've had the transfer embargo lifted, although we don't really know if there are any restrictions on that. There could be, for all we know. There were rumours of a one in and one out system going on, which would have been shit. There's also been the rumours that we've only allowed 24 players in the squad. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if somebody can tell me if that's true or not. If you can, comment. But what has definitely happened is we've got 4 new players in. We've got Chris Taylor in, we've got Jamie Proctor in, Matt Beavers and Mark Howard. So we've got a goalkeeper, a central defender, a striker and a winger. Okay, or a winger who can play midfield as well. They've all got decent records at League One level, and that's great. I'm glad about that because at least we've got people with experience at that level. However, I do worry that they are going to be at that level, and people are going to go, oh, well, you know, people like Darren Prattley are shit, and people like Matt Davies are shit. My worry is actually these guys are even worse. Not because they aren't good players, because at League One level they are good players. But what you've got to realise is people like Darren Prattley and Matt Davies and people like that played in the Premier League for Bolton. And so the Premier League standard, or Championship standard, although you wouldn't have thought it last season when we got bloody relegated, wankers. So my worry is, how good are they? I mean, I've not seen them yet, I'll admit. And I won't pass comment, I'm just hoping they are great. And actually, the players that potentially could play at a higher level. I mean, I know Matt Beavers has played for Sheffield Wednesday, but I'm not sure where he's played for Sheffield Wednesday, whether he played in the Championship or he played in the Premier League for Sheffield Wednesday. I'm assuming it's the Championship maybe, or even League One. I'm not overly sure. I'm not thinking completely straight, so I'm not really over sure. But I'm just going to say this. I remember the League One when we played there last time, when it was the original Division 3. And in the Phil Neal era, we brought in some players that were above that level. The one that comes straight to mind, although he never actually played in the English leagues, was Andy Walker, and he was a cut above everybody else. But actually, I'm thinking further back than that. I can remember that we had a team that were good enough for League One. However, then we added people, and I think they were in separate seasons. In fact, I'm certain they were in separate seasons. We added Andy Dibble, who played in goal for us, and was extraordinarily good compared to the keeper that we had at the time. I think it was Dave Felgate. I could be wrong. Somebody would have to comment on that as well. And I also remember, and I think it was before that even, Andy May. Now, with Dibble, he went on to play for Luton Town in the League Cup final, and he was absolutely incredibly good, and I think he got a transfer possibly to City, I can't remember for exactly, but he was much better than what we had when he played for us. That was a fact. Andy May played in midfield, and he came from City, and I just remember thinking, God, this guy is a class above anything we have in our team. And that's what worries me about the players that we're getting in. Yes, they're experienced for the league that they're in, and that's what we're going to need. That is fact. But how much better or how much worse are they going to be than the players that we've already got? I know this is almost sounding like somebody who's talking from Big Time Charlie's team perspective. But I just remember the old days and players that were cut above League One coming into the team, and how much difference there was between them. Now, I don't know if that gap is still the same as it was. Is the gap between League One and the Premier League so much wider these days? Is it the same width, or is it actually closed? If it's closed, then we're not going to see a big difference, and these players are going to be great regardless. If it's not, then the difference between these players and the players that they have now is going to be enormous. And actually, we should be at the top of the league because the players that we've still got are Championship players potentially, at the very least. It's an interesting one. I don't really know the answers. I just remember what things have happened in the past because I've supported Bolton for so long. My first Bolton match was 1982. Might have been even 1981. I tend to think it was a 0-0 game against Newcastle. And it was at Burnham. But I could be wrong about that. But I do know it was either 81 or 82, my first game. And then I started going regularly in 85. Yeah, a bit of a gap. But in 85 I started going regularly. And so I've seen them all the way from League 1 to go to League 2. And then go up the leagues again. And now go back down the leagues again. We're like a yo-yo. I mean, it was bad enough yo-yoing between Championship and Premier League. But we're a yo-yo team. We tend to have these ups and downs. Lots of teams do. We're not the only ones. All I do know is that at least things are looking up this season because these, even if they are crap, they're still top of League 1 type players. So if Parkinson gets the rest of his squad together, I think we'll do well. That's the hope. I think we could do alright. I'm more positive this season than I've been for a while. Anyway, that's the end of my blog. You might think it was a bit odd, you might not, but that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you've never subscribed before, and bye for now.